from Skip to My Life, and today I just wanted to do a little get ready with me, and I thought that I would share with you our downsizing journey. I've never really shared this story before, so I thought it might be fun for you to hear while we get ready together. Let me lower this just a tiny bit. So my mirror is right over here, so I am going to be looking this way and talking to you just so you know what's going on, and I'll also tell you what I'm using, and just in case you're curious, you may not be. So I'm starting out with my foundation. This is Physicians Formula. I have really sensitive skin, and this is something that I've never had a reaction to. It's called Butter Believe It Foundation and Concealer. A little goes a long way, so I usually use a blending sponge. I love Real Techniques, and that's what I'm going to be using today. All right, so our downsizing story. We moved from a 6-bedroom home. We decided that we were ready to downsize after our second child was in college. We have 2 children. Our oldest is a boy, our youngest is a girl. And when she went to college, we decided we were tired of paying our high mortgage payments and taking care of a big house. And so we decided to downsize. Well, we got a little kick that way because my husband had some pretty dramatic job changes, and it meant that, you know, we really needed to downsize for financial reasons as well. So we knew we were going in the right direction, but we really weren't sure where we wanted to move. And we weren't sure, you know, if our kids were ready for us to move out of the town that they had grown up in, or, you know, we weren't quite there yet. We still had a lot of friends, a lot of connections. All of our doctors were in that town. So, long story short, we moved to a rental, which was a 3-bedroom rental that our kids could stay in when they came home. It was really just a step towards downsizing. We got rid of probably 3/4 of the stuff we had. We had a giant storage room in our 6-bedroom home, and we had used that home to its full capacity. We had hosted large family gatherings where everybody slept over. We had all the parties for our kids' classes. We had just been really happy with that space, and we felt like we used it for everything we were supposed to use it for. So when we downsized, that first initial time was quite a jolt. There was some relief because there were things that I needed to go through and get rid of that I just hadn't had any inspiration to do, and it gave me a kick in the seat of the pants. But honestly, at that first time, I thought, oh, I've gotten rid of everything I can get rid of. There's no way I could go smaller than this. And I was still keeping all my Christmas decorations, boxes and boxes of, you know, kids' memories, papers from preschool, et cetera, et cetera. I just didn't think I could part with any of that. So, fortunately, the first time we moved, we had an attic space that we used as a storage area. And my husband is really brilliant at setting up spaces like that. And so he bought some metal shelves, and it really was like a workout. This is Physicians Formula powder. Let me see what it's called. It is called Creamy Natural Mineral Face Powder. Again, Physicians Formula. Creamy Natural, I think, is the color. So we had all of our possessions that we would have, you know, stored in a storage unit in this attic space, which was so nice. But we were still in the same town, and, you know, I was working at the time. He was looking for a job out of town, which was challenging, but we felt like, okay, this is where we're supposed to be. Now I am using Luminoso Baked Powder Blush. Luminoso is the color. Milani is the brand. This is baked powder. As you can see, I've been using this a long time. I've used this for years, actually. This color is pretty much universally flattering. It's got a little mirror in there as well. But I'll probably just replace this with another one. And then the other blush that I really like, if you prefer a cream blush, let me find it. I'm starting to have a hot flash, so if I start getting glistening, you'll know. This is a cream blush that's my favorite. It's called Hydration Multi-Use Stick by Neutrogena. And this color is Temptation. You can use this on your lips for eyeshadow and also for contour and for a cream blush. So, but since it's so, I'm kind of hot and sticky today, I'm just gonna stick with the powder blush. So, where was I? My husband was looking for a job. I was working. He would come home, you know, periodically, whatever. We finally just, we're getting to the point where we were like, okay, we need to make up our minds. We were tired of being in this holding situation of, you know, having kind of a temporary housing situation. And our dream was always to move closer to his parents, which was further south and a much warmer climate. I have pretty severe arthritis, so the winters were starting to get hard on me. And the ice and the snow and the cold, and he didn't love shoveling and all of that. So we decided our ultimate goal was to be closer to his parents. They live in the southern United States, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, his brother has rental properties, and he said, hey, one's open for you. If you want it, you need to take it because it's going to go soon. This is Venus. Is that what it's called? This is from Dollar Tree, and this is, let me tell you, I just got a new one of these, but this is the only eyebrow kit I use. Written in the Stars, Perfect Brow. It's by Ioni, and inside it has a highlight and then 3 colors, and sometimes I'll mix them. Usually I go with this darker one. But the newer one that I got actually has a wax circle, and that helps you kind of get your brows in place if you want to do that. The other thing I will tell you is if you have sparse brows or eyelashes like I did, I have been using castor oil every night when I go to bed. This is not, like if you're a castor oil purist, you're going to shriek at this. It's not in a, you know, legitimate container. It's supposed to be in a dark glass container. I use the cheap stuff from Walmart. It's less expensive. It does the trick for me. I never had any eyebrows, very, very sparse eyelashes. Since I've been using this every night before I go to bed, putting it around my eyes, I now have eyelashes and eyebrows. I actually have to pluck my eyebrows, which is crazy, but they're still really light. That's just my hair color. Okay, where was I? So anyway, we had this opportunity to, and now I'm going to do my eyebrows. We had this opportunity to move to this property sight unseen. My husband had seen it, and he'd sent me pictures, but I'd never seen it. But we thought, okay, well, this is temporary. We're just going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to try to use the camera for this. I don't know how that's going to work because I don't have my glasses on. We'll have to wing it. Here, maybe I can use this thing. So I said, you know what, let's just go for it. We wanted to be closer to his parents as they aged, and we thought, oh, this would be something temporary. And he had job opportunities, and I had job opportunities, and because we were both working full-time, you know, wanted full-time employment. And so we moved here in December. Our son actually came down for Christmas and helped us move. And you all know what happened. The national, I won't name it because I still don't know how this is on social media about naming it, but we all know the national problem that happened in January, February. So the job prospects that we have were actually gone. There's a complicated set of circumstances that surround that I won't go into right now, but the industries that we were in, the jobs were eliminated because of that national emergency. So we decided just to kind of do what we could find. I worked at a retail store for a little while. He worked at delivering some packages for a little while. And we decided to figure out, okay, what's going on here. So during that time, I have no idea if these are on straight. And I will tell you, they look a little dark. But once I get the rest of my makeup on, and my glasses, because I have to wear frames, they blend right in. And my daughter actually told me, you know, Mom, if you have no eyebrows, it's actually going to age you more than if you do have eyebrows. And I realized she was right. I didn't used to pay any attention to that, but she was right. It does take years off if you give yourself a little eyebrow. Okay, so we thought that this was all going to be temporary, but then the national emergency came in and turned everyone on their heads. We did the little jobs that we could find for a little while, and then in the spring, I had done some YouTube, just dabbled in it because I was a blogger, and I would store some of my videos on it. But turn this a little bit. This is eyeliner. Let me tell you the brand here. Check the brows out. They're probably crooked. I'll have to do. This is e.l.f. No Budge Retractable Eyeliner, and this is in, I think it's in black. Now, let me tell you the secret about this that I like. It's not expensive. It's retractable. So when I do this, I pull it all the way out. Now it's gotten a little bit shorter, but it has made a huge difference for me being able to do what I'm going to show you next. And that is, I used to do a dark eyeliner line. I'm not good. I do not have a steady hand. I'm not even good with liquid eyeliners, and I've tried everything. And so when I would do an eye line close to my lid, it would end up smudging, and then I'd have to make it thicker and blah, blah, blah. Until I figured this out, I saw a tutorial on it, and that helped me. So what you do is just pull this back, and I'm not doing it in the waterline. I'm doing it at the very edge of that eyelid. And so I have sensitive eyes. And the other thing I realized is I really don't need very much anymore. You know, I was a child of the 80s, so it was all about the eyeliner. We used to light it with a lighter and put it on real thick. We don't need that anymore. Just a little touch of eyeliner is going to make you look, it's going to define those eyes, and it doesn't make it look like you're living in the 80s. So that's all I do. I just do that little line right up next to my eye line. Some of you may have noticed that my eyes are two different shapes. That's because I have an autoimmune disease where I get inflammation in one of my eyes, and I've had to have multiple treatments for that, and it has actually affected my eyelid. I think it's going to come back. I think it's going to open up to the same shape, but my pupil most likely will look a different shape until I have surgery, and I'm not ready to do that yet. So you're getting in on all the secrets today, those of you who are watching. Okay, this is LA Colors. I love LA Colors eyeshadows from Dollar Tree. This palette is called Water Lily. These, I like to replace my eyeshadows frequently because I don't want germs and bacteria to get in there. And so at $1.25, it's possible for me to do that. And I love the way that these go on. They're just really smooth. And so what I like to do is take this lighter color and just do a base on my eyelid so that the eyeshadow goes on a little bit more smoothly, because these aren't like the top of the line quality. So just to help it a little bit, like you've probably realized I don't spend a lot on makeup. I don't really follow trends. I really don't enjoy putting makeup on anymore. I used to. And then I just take this color over here and I just draw a little highlight right there. And so it kind of opens up your eye. You can do this with any palette you like. And then I just kind of smudge it. When I worked, I used to and of course when I was younger, I loved wearing makeup and putting it on and finding all the trends. And now I just kind of want to look natural. I want to cover flaws and not worry about it and go about my business. So these are the things I found that help. Okay, where were we? If you're still with me. Okay, so let me tell you before I do this, my mascara secret, all right? Like I said, I have sparse eyelashes. I'm going to curl them with a Dollar Tree lash curler. That's really the big secret. I have tried to wear false lashes. They just don't agree with me. Maybe sometime I'll find a system that I like and I'll share with you. This is Dollar Tree. This is Wet n Wild Mega Wear Mascara. I just get Dollar Tree, I don't find that their mascaras are awesome, but they're great for just defining those lashes. And then I go over them with a more expensive mascara. This actually is not expensive. This is Essence Princess Lash. It looks like false eyelashes. However, I will tell you, I can't leave this on very long because my eyes start to itch. Oh, hi. Good to see you. Yeah, Dollar Tree lash curler. I don't see why we should spend more on a lash curler, really. It's pretty just straightforward, right? So this is really good if you do not have sensitive eyes. It's called Essence Lash Princess. I think it's under $5. I've got the waterproof is blue and the regular is like this aqua. But if you have sensitive skin or sensitive eyes, I cannot wear it for long periods of time. It looks awesome, but I'll just wear it for maybe a couple hours and then take it off. If I have to wear mascara longer, I would get something that's like Neutrogena or something like that. So first of all, I'm going to curl them, and then I'm going to go over with the cheaper mascara, and then I'm going to do the Essence. Okay, so where was I? So we moved down here. The jobs that we both thought we were going to get were no longer available. We started doing whatever we could find. And then, and all this time, our kids were like doing their own thing, adulting, becoming young adults, all that good stuff. So that was good. And, you know, as long as your kids are happy, usually everything else is going to be okay. They were both great. They both, during this national emergency, they had friends, they had people looking out for them. They, you know, all of that. All that was good. And fortunately, we did not lose anyone close to us. So I am very, very grateful to God for that. I feel blessed by that every day. Anyway, so I started into a video YouTube group during that time just to dabble in it like a lot of people did. And they challenged us to post one video on YouTube every week. So I thought, you know what? I need to do that. I'm just going to do that because I think it would be fun. And also everything that I've learned, I'm going to just see if maybe I could share it with somebody else and somebody else could learn from my mistakes and my failures and all of that. So that's when I started, and that was spring of 2020. And I've been posting a YouTube episode once a week ever since then. I've skipped a couple weeks, but here and there for different reasons, but for the most part, I've posted once a week. And here we are later, and my husband is now on part-time helping me with this business. And so it's kind of a little semi-retirement plan for us now, since the bottom kind of fell out of everything else. But we have had a blast doing it. I've had a blast doing it. I love meeting all of you and hearing your stories, and I'm getting out my lips now. Okay, so my lips are, now this is tried and true for me. If you are the kind of person who cannot make lipstick stay, this is for you. I will put it on and 5 minutes later, it looks like I never used it. All right, this is the only thing I found that works, and I hope they don't discontinue it ever. There's probably some improvement on it, but I'm just sticking with what I know. This is Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink. Okay, these are all matte colors. So what I will do, I've got these 4 colors and I'll tell you what they are. This one is, I don't know if it's, I'm just gonna read the number. The number on this is 900. I don't see, I'm sure it has a name, but I don't see it. It may have rubbed off. So this one's 900. It's like a tan color. This one, hi Dawn, hi Flynn family. Hey guys, I'm so glad you were able to come. I just did this on the spur of the moment today. I wasn't planning this, but I had a lot of filming to do, and I thought, oh well, I might as well get ready with you all. So this one is number 50W000. It's like a little pinky, pale pink rose. This one is red. I'm sorry, you guys, I don't have the names of the colors on these. Oh wait, okay, I'm sorry. I'll tell you all of them at the end. I just found them. This is a red, like a fire engine red. And then this one's a hot pink, like a fuchsia. Okay, so the hot pink is number 30. The red is number 118. The rose pink is 10. And the tan is 5. Okay, so I've got these 4, and I mix and match them. And they stay on all day long. And then in between, I'll put on just a gloss to make it look a little glossier. So if I want more of a little natural look, I'll choose this rose color. And if I want something that's a little bit brighter pink, I'll add just a touch of this. And that's how I do it. And then I'll take a tissue and I'll just kind of blend it. If you all want me to later, I can link all this after I'm finished. Okay, so that's pretty much my look. I'm finished. So now let me finish the story. So we started on all of this. Now, so the first time we downsized, it was from a 6-bedroom home to a 3-bedroom rental. Our kids were still around. We didn't really know what we were gonna do. It was just a holding spot. When we moved to this spot, it's a 3-bedroom rental, but it's 1,100 square feet. It's much smaller. Our house that we lived in originally was 4 times this size. And like I said, we used it for entertaining. We used it for family. We used every square inch of it. So when we moved here, we thought, oh, we'll buy a house. Well, the economy changed, the job market changed. Long story short, we're still here and it's almost been 5 years and we're really grateful. But what I have learned, we did that second, I thought that I couldn't downsize anymore. And we did that second downsize. And at this point, we've gotten rid of so much stuff. And our kids said, you know what? We don't want a lot of the stuff that you were saving for us. Even though they have now just had their first children themselves, they don't they want a couple things. They wanted their baby blankets. I saved like maybe one little outfit for them. I saved a couple of their little drawings. They feel overwhelmed themselves, you know, by their stuff. So it was a good lesson for me to learn that all of that stuff that I thought I was holding on to for my kids, it was really for me. And I'll tell you what's helped. If you're going through empty nest now, or you have a friend who's going through empty nest, it really helps to find something that's gonna develop a new skill in you. So for me, it was YouTube. I've learned so much. I'm not naturally a tech savvy person, but it's pushed me out of my comfort zone and I've had to learn a lot. I had to make a lot of new friends, learn a lot about business and marketing. And so I don't have time to sit around and worry, oh, have my kids called me today? Oh, you know, all that kind of stuff that keeps us stuck. So I recommend that if you or someone you know is an empty nest and they're really having a hard time, encourage them to make a new hobby or interest or something maybe they have put on the back burner. Like we just joined a church that has a choir. Well, I haven't sung in a choir since I was in college. And, you know, that's something I had really wanted to do. So this is the time of our lives to really get back to fostering our own interests, our own personal growth, and that has led to a much healthier relationship with my adult children, and they, I think, appreciate it. We have a lot to talk about because it's not just me saying, well, how are you? You know, how's your life? And glomming on to whatever they're doing. I actually have things to share about what I'm doing. And one of my son's friends said, my son called me and this made me laugh so hard. He goes, Mom, you're a legit YouTuber. He said, my friend told me that he stumbled onto your channel and you actually have like subscribers. They don't know what to do with me. They don't know what box to put me in because it's not their typical mom, you know, box. So I just want to encourage you because I know it's hard for a lot of people whose children, maybe your last or only child has just gone to college. It's a great time for you to downsize. It's a great time for you to just lighten up your life. I tell you what, I have gained so much more energy, so much more fun in my life because I don't have as much stuff to take care of. You know, we're not responsible for fixing anything that breaks. We have a very small lawn to care for. We have very small footprint. And I feel like this exercise has been really good for me just to say, what do I absolutely need? So I'll end on this note. You know, God has reasons for everything that he brings us through. And most of the things in our lives, or at least in my life, I would have not chosen had I known in advance. But I look back, maybe like you do, and I see, oh, I was prepared for that. So last year, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And long story short, I had a double mastectomy. Now, if you want to hear that whole story, I am happy to make a video on it. I just didn't that's not what I normally talk about on my channel, so I didn't want to bore anyone. So if you want me to make a whole video on it, I can, and I'm happy to do that. I celebrated my year anniversary in July. And I'm cancer-free and everything is doing great. But during that cancer process, it really is about an 8-month healing process. I didn't need any chemo or radiation, and I'm, again, extremely blessed for that. I realized how much nicer it was for me not worrying about my house because we had downsized so much and streamlined so much. It was just really easy. My husband, thank you, Flynn family. My husband was able to keep up with the house. He was able to take care of me because we live in such a small place. It's a ranch style house. And so I look back on that and I'm really grateful now because if I had been in a giant house, it would have been such a burden with our kids gone during that time of recovery. And there's just a lot that we didn't have to worry about. So I just want to encourage you, no matter where you are in your life today, maybe some things have happened that you weren't expecting or you don't really want. No matter what's happening, I just want to encourage you to enjoy where you are today. There are good things about where you are, and look for those, even if you have to make yourself look for them. You woke up this morning, maybe the sun is shining, whatever it is, I would encourage you today, look for something good in your life. Do not give up on your life. And that's why I always say today's not the end of your story. You just never know what's around the corner. And a lot of times I'm saying that to myself, because we all have good days and bad days. So I hope that you've enjoyed this Get Ready with me and you can start your Saturday now. Oh, Sharon, thank you. Thank you. And God bless you too. All right, guys, have a great day and we will see you in the next